तदोजयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदेवतारणं परमानंद माधवम Sri Chaitanyeshwaram. So I welcome you all, which is in Mataji's, for today's session of Shrimad Bhagavatam. This chapter 24, as we all know, is also called Rudra Gitam. So because it was sung by Lord Shiva, and then primarily from shloka number 19 onwards. Right? So we are hearing the discussion between sage Maitreya and Vidura. So what are the things that we are going to learn today before we actually dive deep into the shlokas of the shlokas for the day? So we are going to discuss about the position of Lord Shiva, how glorious he is, how rare it is to get his darshan, and then the duties of a disciple, of a son. Okay. So these will be the primary points that we will be discussing. So we begin with text 17 onwards. Sangamaha kalau viprase shive neha sharirinam durlabho munayo dadhyur asangadyam abhipsitam. May I request some
Yeah, I'll read Prabhuji. Pranams. Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Sloka 17. Shall I read the sloka also or only translate?
We can read the translation in the purport.
Okay. The translation and purport by Divine Guru Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The great sage Vidura continued, O best of the Brahmanas, it's very difficult for the living entities engaged within this material body to have personal contact with Lord Shiva. Even great sages who have no material attachments do not contact him, despite their always being absorbed in the meditation to attain his personal contact. Purport. Since Lord Shiva does not incarnate himself unless there is some special reason, it's very difficult for an ordinary person to contact him. However, Lord Shiva does descend on a special occasion when he is ordered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this regard, it is stated in the Padma Purana that Lord Shiva appeared as a Brahmana in the age of Kali to preach the Mayavada philosophy, which is nothing but a type of Buddhist philosophy. It is stated in Padma Purana, Mayavadam asachastram prachannam baudhamuchyate mayaiva vihitam devi Hello, Brahmana Murtina. Lord Shiva, speaking to Parvati Devi, foretold that he would spread the Mayavada philosophy in the guise of a sannyasi Brahmana just to eradicate the Buddhist philosophy. This sannyasi was Sripata Shankaracharya. In order to overcome the effects of Buddhist philosophy and spread Vedanta philosophy, Sripata Shankaracharya had to make some compromise with the Buddhist philosophy, and as such he preached the philosophy of monism, for it was required at that time. Otherwise, there was no need for his preaching Mayavada philosophy. At the present moment, there is no need for Mayavadi philosophy or Buddhist philosophy, and Lord Chaitanya rejected both of them. This Krishna consciousness movement is spreading the philosophy of Lord Chaitanya and rejecting the philosophy of both classes of Mayavadi. Strictly speaking, both Buddhist philosophy and Shankara's philosophy are but different types of Mayavada dealing on the platform of material existence. Neither of these philosophies has spiritual significance. There is spiritual significance only after one accepts the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, which culminates in surrendering unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Generally, people worship Lord Shiva for some material benefit, and although they cannot see him personally, they derive great material profit by worshipping him. Hare Krishna.
Yes, thank you, Maraji. So, yes, so we read about the position of Lord Shiva. It is very, very rare to get his darshan. So one thing which we should be very carefully observing here, in general, the position of Vidura. Vidura is hearing this conversation from Maitreya, right? So the great sage Vidura continued. So he's speaking to whom? He's speaking to Maitreya. So if we see their respective position, Vidura was in the association of the Lord. He met him many more number of times than Maitreya, right? So Maitreya hardly got the darshan once or twice. Vidura was seeing the Lord almost for so many months, so many days, right? And at multiple times. So there is a lot to learn from the personality Vidura, that how carefully he is observing everything. He's not just listening the Bhagavatam from Maitreya Muni. He is listening it very attentively. Because if somebody tells us Shiva was passing by the place, and then all the Prachetas, the sons of 10 sons of Prachin Bari, they heard this knowledge from Lord Shiva. We will not question. Of course, we are not at the Vidura's platform, nor we have any intention also. We have to follow in the footsteps. That is the important point. So, but as a listener, okay, as a Shrimad Bhagavatam audience, it is to the degree that we are attentive to hearing the conversation, to that degree we will be able to receive the reciprocation from Shrimad Bhagavatam in our heart. So, and about the Lord, it does not matter the person whom we are hearing from, whether he was more qualified, because we are seeing here, right? Vidura was a more pure devotee, okay, but he is hearing from Maitreya. So any words about? Yes. So when we hear about the glories of the Lord, okay, we should be totally, at least in the prayerful mood, that we absorb into that. Okay, next. So he's questioning Maitreya Muni that it is very difficult that Shiva, anybody seeing Shiva, it's not an ordinary thing. So, and even the great sages, okay, who have no material attachment, they cannot contact him, despite their always being absorbed in the meditation to attain his personal contact. And then it is described about the Buddhist philosophy and then Mayavada philosophy. So here it is very important to know, we are not the followers of Buddha, we are not the followers of Mayavada, but then it is still very important to know about these philosophies, because if we do not know them, then our family business in ISKCON. By the way, today is 29th July, Monday. Today is the ISKCON Foundation Day. In 1966, on this day, ISKCON was set up. Okay, so in ISKCON, today being the Foundation Day, right? It is very important that we know our philosophy very clearly, and at the same time, we also know the other philosophies. Why? Because our family business in ISKCON is preaching. Prabhupada says 4 lines, right? Books are the basis, purity is the force, utility is the principle, and preaching is the essence. So, preaching is the essence. And when we go for preaching, we do not know what type of person we are going to meet, and that goes without saying that yes, we should be always surrender to the Lord, so that Lord speaks via us. At the same time, if I refer one example of His Grace Chaitanya Charidas Prabhu, when he was going to give his one of the very first class, okay, then he asked his Shiksha Guru, his mentor, how we should do, what we should do. And then the answer that he got is, you surrender to the Lord, and then you give the class. But after you prepare, right? So both are important. We need to prepare, yes, and then we don't know what is the complete preparation. There is nothing called complete preparation. When we are going for the preaching, it is like going to a battlefield, and we don't know what type of audience, okay, we are going to get. So we all are like very good devotees, and we are trying to learn it together. But suppose if we go into like outreach program, right? We don't know outreach programs. Here we know we all are members of the ICF family, and we are meeting every week. If we go for an outreach program, we have no idea whom we are going to interact with. So it is our prime duty, right, to be clear about the basic philosophies. And it is so important that once Srila Prabhupada and even Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, right, they learned Mayavad, okay, so that they could face the Mayavadis when it comes to any discussion. So Prabhupada used to say, I will be against the Mayavad, and then you all are in the favor of Mayavad, and then you all try to defend. And then Prabhupada used to defeat them. Okay. Then Prabhupada said, okay, let us now change the side. I will be speaking for Mayavad, and then you will be against the Mayavad. And then Prabhupada again used to defeat them. So Prabhupada can do anything. Today is, though it is not Prabhupada's appearance day, though it is not Prabhupada's disappearance day, but it is not less than that also. ISKCON Foundation Day is our Srila Prabhupada's day. So we must accept the purpose of Srila Prabhupada are his personal ecstasies. Almost all his disciples have confirmed this at various times in their lectures, starting from Dinabandhu Prabhu in Vrindavan and Bhakti Tirth Swami Maharaj. All the disciples, they have confirmed the purpose of Srila Prabhupada are his personal interaction, personal ecstasies. So we should be accepting that in toto. In toto means 100%. If someone says that the purpose of Srila Prabhupada was for the time when it was written, and now we need to modify it, we accept it 90%, we accept it 95%, but those 5% we need to drop. That is a very dangerous situation, because with that theory, this was explained by His Grace Venu Gopal Prabhuji, who is a very senior devotee serving in Mayapur, ISKCON Devi Varanashram system. He's one of the important member in the committee. So he was telling it in his class last week that if we start deviating even by 0.1% from the philosophy of Srila Prabhupada, then there will be very soon a time, because that habit has been developed, right? 0.1%, that will become 1%, and then 10%. And then there will be a question, why Prabhupada? And then we have no existence. Prabhupada is the one who had brought us into the bhakti. So we need to be very, very respectful. All the sampradayas, like for example, in Tiri Sampradaya, whatever Ramanujacharya says, that is everything. And they're very, very closely related, connected with Ramanujacharya. So the strength of any movement is there as long as they are connected to the acharya of that movement. Okay. So yes, we come back to the purport now. So the Buddhist philosophy, it started at the time when people were misusing the scriptures, saying, see, look here, The scripture tells you can sacrifice the animals, okay, and then we are following the scriptures, and hence we are sacrificing those animals. So how it is exactly related to the point that we discussed? If we accept the teachings of the scriptures of our acharyas only for our benefit, then it is called Ardh Kukut Nyay. Ardh Kukut Nyay. What is the meaning of that? There is a hen, and that hen gives an egg every single day. But for giving that egg, that hen has to be fed with some grains of rice, or some grains she has to be fed every single day. Now the question is, do we want the egg? Yes, we want. But do we want to feed the hen every day? No, we don't. So what to do? Let us, it is an example of the Shastras. Cut the hen, okay, and take out only the part from where the egg comes, and throw away the part which has to be fed. This is called Ardh Kukut Nyay. We accept half what benefits us, but we don't accept where we have to do the austerity, where we have to do the tapasya. That is not going to help. And this is exactly the point that we discussed in relation to ISKCON Foundation Day, right? Srila Prabhupada's instruction, no, 100% has to be accepted. Not even a 0.1%. If we start rejecting, we are on the dangerous track, and it will be very soon it will be so much deviated that we will be surprised. How come we reached? Okay, there may be some gap in our understanding, but that is not mean I should accept what I understand, right? We should take help of our senior devotees, right? So our scriptures are so important that even if the Lord comes and Lord tells you follow what I say, but don't follow what is written in the scripture, okay, then we don't accept. We accept Lord Buddha, that he was an incarnation of Krishna. We do totally accept. Why we accept that? Because it is mentioned in Shrimad Bhagavatam. And then we don't accept the words of Buddha. Why? Because what he mentioned is not as per the Shastras. It was the need of that time. People were misusing the Shastras for their own personal sense gratification. And hence, even if the Lord comes and Lord says against the scriptures, the words of Lord, we accept the Lord. It is something very wonderful, right? For a new person, if you try to explain, oh, you are accepting him as a God, yes, and not his teaching, yes. This is called Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva, which was given to us by none other than our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What we follow is Achintya Bheda Bheda. Okay? What Buddha started was Shunyavad. We came from zero, we go back to zero. There is nothing. After Buddha, Lord Shankaracharya came. And who was Shankaracharya? Shankaracharya was sent by the Lord. He is none other than Lord Shiva. This is what is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita. And why was he sent? He was sent that you accept the scriptures. Okay? But there is no difference between us and the Lord. We both are one. So it was to bring the people of that age to a platform that they at least first stop sacrificing the animals. Because if someone is sacrificing the animals, what teaching can be taught to them? They are not at the humanly platform also. So to bring, see, though it is mentioned, Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, right, 4.11, ye yatha mam prapadyante, tam tathava bhajamayaham. So we get whatever, to the degree we are surrendered to the Lord reciprocates to the same degree to us. But if we go deep into that shloka, then we will find there are so many examples where the devotee does very less and the Lord is doing so much. The example of the fruit seller, right, in the in the Krishna book and Shrimad Bhagavatam, right, she gave only the fruits, and Lord gave her all the beautiful, amazing ornaments and jewelry and so many things. Sudama gave only that chipped rice, right? When a very small borrowed, I mean, so much less, but Lord gave him so much. But then the question comes, what about us? We are not in the queue. Sudama and right, the, that fruit seller lady. So they were the devotee of the Lord. What about us? We are not. We are doing that a little bit also. But then also we find the Lord is doing so much for us. See, in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Vasudev Datta, one very important character is there. And then he says, "Oh Lord, you give me the problems of every single person on this earth. Let me only suffer for everybody. And let everybody go back to your dham." Okay? And amount equal to their all sins, I will suffer here. So this made the Lord very, very pleasing, looking at the compassionate nature that Vasudev Datta had. But then the Lord said, "Oh Vasudev Datta, don't think that Krishna needs to give you the sins of everybody to deliver everybody else. And Krishna will never make you to suffer everybody's sins. Krishna is so powerful that this entire universe is equal to one mustard seed. And one mustard seed, not in cup. A cup may have 10,000 mustard seeds or maybe 1 lakh mustard seeds. So one mustard seed, though it is a very small quantity in a cup of mustard seeds, but what Mahaprabhu says, one mustard seed in a bag full of mustard seeds. If there is a 100 kg bag, and if you have one mustard seed, it has no significance of that in front of that. So the people of this entire universe is equal to not even a mustard seed in a bag full of mustard seeds. So Krishna does not have to give you all the troubles of everybody. Okay, why did we jump to Chaitanya Charitamrita suddenly? Because if our universe is not even a mustard seed, and Krishna has so many mustard seeds, means so many universe take care, then within our, in the universe there are so many planets, right? One mustard seed has so many planets. Within one planet, which is our Earth, after to stop the people from uh, sacrificing the animals for their own sense gratification, Lord first Lord himself came as Buddha. When I'm explaining this part, please have those remaining discussions which we just discussed, right? Which one? Fruit seller. They did so less and Lord gave them so much. Ye yathabam prapadante. All those stories should be running in our mind. And now we are discussing this. So what did the Lord do? He himself came as Buddha, so that we come to the humanly platform by stopping cutting the animals. And then Lord sends Shiva, so that we start respecting the scriptures. And we cannot suddenly accept Lord is different and we are different and we are here to serve. We just stopped sacrificing the animals. So for us to gradually progress, okay, so Shankaracharya came saying both are same. Then Dvaitvad came. In Dvaitvad, it is said that Lord is different and we are different. Okay? And there was worship of only Krishna there. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came with the principle of Achintya Bheda Bheda. Yes, both we Jiva and the Lord, both at the same time they are one, and at the same time they are different. And then he gave the example of that Anu and Vibhu, a drop of water from the ocean is also same as ocean because it has the same quality, but in quantity it is different. So we can say it is same, but it is different also. So, okay, now we are clear about the Mayavada philosophy and the Buddha philosophy, and this Krishna conscious movement is spreading the philosophy of Lord Chaitanya and rejecting both the classes of Mayavadi and the Buddhist. Okay, we go to the next verse now. Text 18. Yes, Divya Mataji.
Atma Ramo api asvasya lokakalpasya radase shaktya yukto vicharati goraya bhagavan bhavaha. Shall I read the translation, Prabhuji?
Let me put the hand raised, Mataji. If there are more, then okay, you can read, Mataji. I request other devotees like please raise your hand so that we can like all get a chance.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Shiva, the most powerful demigod, second only to Lord Vishnu, is self-sufficient. Although he has nothing to aspire for in the material world, for the benefit of those in the material world, he is happy. He is always busily engaged everywhere and is accompanied by his dangerous energies like the goddess Kali and the goddess Durga. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, pranams. Anybody wants to read?
Thank you, Mataji. Mataji, may I request Archana Mataji to read the purport now? Yes,
Hare,
yes,
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Shiva is known as the greatest devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is known as the best of all type of Vaishnavas, Vaishnavanam Yata Sambhu. Consequently, Lord Shiva has Vaishnava Sampradaya, the disciplic succession known as Rudra Sampradaya. Just as there is Brahma Sampradaya coming directly from Lord Brahma, Rudra Sampradaya comes directly from Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is one of the 12 great personalities as stated in Shrimad Bhagavatam 6.3.20. Swayambhuhur Narada Sambhu, Kumara Kapilo Manuhu, Prahlado Janako Bhishmo, Balir Vayaksakir Vayam. These are 12 great authorities in preaching God consciousness. The name Shambhu means Lord Shiva. His disciplic succession is also known as Vishnuvami Sampradaya. And the current Vishnuvami Sampradaya is also known as Vallabha Sampradaya. The current Brahma Sampradaya is known as Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Even though Lord Shiva appeared to preach Mayavada philosophy, at the end of his pastimes in form of Shankaracharya, he preached the Vaishnava philosophy, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam, Bhaja Mudamadi. He stressed worshipping Lord Krishna or Govinda 3 times in this verse, especially warned his followers that they could not possibly achieve deliverance or mukti simply by the word jugglery and grammatical puzzles. If one is actually serious to attain mukti, he must worship Lord Krishna. That is Sripada Shankaracharya's last instruction. Herein, shall I continue, Prabhuji?
Yes, but I also request like other devotees.
Yes, Prabhuji. Herein it is mentioned that Lord Shiva is always accompanied by his material energy, Sakya Goraya. Material energy, goddess Durga or goddess Kali, is always under his control. Goddess Kali and Durga serve him by killing all asuras or demons. Sometimes Kali becomes so infuriated that she indiscriminately kills all kinds of asuras. There is a popular picture of Goddess Kali in which she wears garland composed of heads of asuras and holds in her left hand a captured head and in her right hand a great khadga or chopper for killing asuras. Great wars are symbolic representation of Kali's devastation of asuras and are actually conducted by Goddess Kali. Shrishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shaktir Eka. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Should I continue, Prabhuji? Yes, okay. Asuras tried to pacify the goddess Kali or Durga by...
Let me just request. Sorry, Mataji, let me just request. Any other devotee? Navkishori Mataji or Krishnamurti Prabhuji, you want to read too?
I can read Prabhuji if there's no one else.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes.
Oh, okay, Navkushari Mataji, you can go ahead.
Sure, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila
Hare Krishna
Prabhupada ki jai.
Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes, yes.
Asuras tried to pacify the goddess Kali or Durga by worshipping her in material opulence. But when the Asuras become too intolerable, the goddess Kali does not discriminate in killing them wholesale. Asuras do not know the secret of the energy of Lord Shiva, and they prefer to worship the goddess Kali or Durga or Lord Shiva for material benefit. Due to their demonic character, they are reluctant to surrender to Lord Krishna, as indicated by Bhagavad Gita 7.15. Nama dushkruti no mudaha prapadyante naradhamah maya ya prahata gnana Asuram Bhavama Ashritah. Lord Shiva's duty is very dangerous because he has to employ the energy of the goddess Kali or Durga. In another popular picture, the goddess Kali is sometimes seen standing on the prostrate body of Lord Shiva, which indicates that sometimes Lord Shiva has to fall down flat in order to stop the goddess Kali from killing the asuras. Since Lord Shiva controls the great material energy, the goddess Durga worshippers of Lord Shiva attain very opulent positions within this material world. Under Lord Shiva's directions, a worshipper of Lord Shiva gets all kinds of material facilities. In contrast, a Vaishnava or a worshipper of Lord Vishnu gradually becomes poorer in material possessions because Lord Vishnu does not trick his devotee into becoming materially entangled by possessions. Lord Vishnu gives his devotee intelligence from within as stated in Bhagavad Gita 10.10. Tesam satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purva kama dadami buddhi yogam tama yena mama upayantite. To those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Thus, Lord Vishnu gives intelligence to his devotee so that the devotee can make progress on the path back home, back to Godhead. Since a devotee has nothing to do with any kind of material possessions, he does not come under the control of the goddess Kali or the goddess Durga. Lord Shiva is also in charge of the tamoguna or the mode of ignorance in this material world. His potency, the goddess Durga, is described as keeping all living entities in the darkness of ignorance. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Nindra Rupena Sanstita. Both Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are incarnations of Lord Vishnu, but Lord Brahma is in charge of the creation, whereas Lord Shiva is in charge of the destruction, which he carries out with the help of his material energy, goddess Kali or goddess Durga. Thus, in these words, Lord Shiva is described as being accompanied by dangerous potencies, Satya Ghoraya, and that is the actual position of Lord Shiva. Hare Krishna. Thank you. And with Pranam Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes. So we see many details here. Once again, the position of Lord Shiva has been glorified. So Lord Shiva has two names, which are two different extremes. One is Rudra, another is Ashutosh. Ashutosh means one who is pleased very easily, and Rudra who gets very angry also. So we all know, and it is also mentioned in the purport, the position of Lord Shiva is just after Lord Krishna. So we should be very, very careful while dealing with the questions related to Lord Shiva. By no means we must be sounding very, very, not only sounding, we must actually mean also very, very respectful to Lord Shiva. Any temple of Lord Krishna around the globe, we will always see the temple of Lord Shiva as a Kshetrapala. Whether it is Gopeshwar Mahadev in Vrindavan, Chakaleshwar Mahadev in Govardhan, Bhuvaneshwar, Jagannath Puri, right? Nandeshwar Mahadev in Nandagram, everywhere we will see the Lord Shiva. And we, especially, right, when we are trying to speak about the Lord Shiva's position, he is the greatest devotee of the Lord. Okay, that point should be very clear in us. And then we must always be taking the example of milk and the curd, because the relationship of Lord Shiva and Krishna is same as the relationship between milk and curd. So curd represents Lord Shiva. It has come from milk. Okay, but curd cannot become milk. That is also correct. In terms of qualities, okay, Lord Shiva has 82%, if I'm correct, of the qualities. Lord Krishna has entire 100%. Even Vishnu does not have entire all. He has 4 qualities less. Venu Madhuri, Roop Madhuri, Leela Madhuri. Right? There is one more. Yes, I'm not able to recall. There are total 4 differences. Yeah. So that is not the topic anyway. So coming back here, Lord Shiva is so compassionate that even those ghosts, right, who have no material body, they are the spirit soul, right? To them, it comes in Shrimad Bhagavatam 3rd canto, somewhere around 14th chapter. Lord Shiva is so merciful that wherever he finds any opportunity where people are not doing the things as per the Shastras, right, in their womb, Lord Shiva makes the demons, those souls, to enter into the womb of those mothers who are going to conceive. Those who are not following the things as per the time and circumstances. It comes in the context of Mother Diti and the sage Kashyapa. That was the time when Lord Shiva was roaming around with the ghosts and all, and because of that untimely association of Mother Diti and the sage Kashyapa, these 2 souls were entered into their womb. Okay, so he is the in charge of mode of ignorance, but it does not mean he is in mode of ignorance. No, a devotee, okay, Jai and Vijay, as we see in 3rd canto, right, same section, they were the gatekeepers of the Vaikuntha. Okay, and even though they came as 3 different, for the 3 lifetimes they had to come, right? Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, then Ravan and Kumbhakaran, and then Shishupal and Dantavakra, right? So now it's a question, interesting point, right? That if someone performs the things sinfully, okay, then his cycle of birth and death should start, right? Jay and Vijay came as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, and we all know here they did all types of mischievous things. They even stole, right, the Mother Earth. So now, with that theory, they should have been into the endless cycle of birth and death, right? Because they came in this form and they did things against the Shastras. They tortured the devotees like Prahlad Maharaj. So they should have been into the endless cycle. But no, they were pre-informed that you are going there only for the 3 lifetimes. So the point is, if I'm not comparing, everybody in Vaikuntha is respectful. If Jay and Vijay, who were just translation, what we see, I'm going to the translation so that we can take it in the right spirit. Lord Shiva, the most powerful demigod. Second only to Lord Vishnu, right? He is just after Lord Vishnu. And in the Vaikuntha, Jay Vijay are the gatekeepers. If the gatekeepers, Jay Vijay, were given so much of special favor that they will be going only for the three lifetimes. In fact, there was a argument between Jay Vijay and the Lord, and it is very interesting to hear what that argument was. Okay, argument was Jay and Vijay were telling the Lord, "Oh Lord, you are the supreme, and we have not seen you tasting the virya rasa, because on this earth nobody has the capability to stand in front of you even for a second. We want you to enjoy that virya rasa. Please allow us to go down." And Lord is saying, "How can I allow you to go? I cannot remain without you." And they are saying, "No, we want to go so that we can serve you." And Lord is saying, "No, you cannot go." And that was the argument. So if the gatekeepers, Jay and Vijay, with all full respect, if they can have such a special favor of the Lord, then how come Lord Shiva can be in the mode of ignorance? No, he's given the seva of being in the mode of ignorance. He is a prime most devotee of the Lord. And even comparing, then I'm thinking this is big and this is small, is an offense. Okay, we should be very, very respectful, not only while speaking and while discussing it with somebody, but even from our heart. Okay, all the demigods are very, very authorized personalities chosen by the Lord for those specific service. They are no one to distinguish and compare and say, no, for me now only Lord Krishna is there and I don't respect. No, if we are respectful to the Lord, we should be very, very respectful to the demigods also. But at the same time, we should know their constitutional position. So that is a right spirit. Okay, so it is a very sensitive topic, and then we should be very careful about discussing it. Okay, now I come back to our this purport where Mother Durga, so she works for Lord Shiva, and then we know that instance of Bharat Maharaj also, right? Some dacoits, when Bharat Maharaj was in the form of what was that? Jada Bharat, right? They were taking Jada Bharat for the sacrifice, and then those dacoits, when they were going to sacrifice Jada Bharat for the worship of Mother Kali herself appeared, and then she killed those dacoits. So when we are taking the shelter of the Lord, we are serving, then we have nothing to worry. Right? Bhagavad Gita 9.22. Yoga Kshemam Mahamayam. I preserve what you have, and I give you what you would lack. So we don't have to worry for any other things. We go to the next purport. Sorry, next shloka. I request Rashmi Mataji. Sorry, I'm sorry, Rohini Mataji, please read this last verse.
Yes, ma'am. This purport,
It is 19, Mataji. Yeah. 18.
okay, I'll read it.
19. Yeah,
Yeah, 19.
Yes.
Maitreya uvacha pracetastpitruvakyam shirasadaya sadhavah disham praticam prayayus tapasyadrita chetasah. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The great sage Maitreya continued, "My dear Vidura, because of their pious nature, all the sons of Prachinabhari very seriously accepted the words of their father with heart and soul. And with these words on their heads, they went towards the west to execute their father's order. Purport. In this verse, Sadhava means pious or well behaved is very important, especially at the present moment. It is derived from the word sadhu. A perfect sadhu is one who is always engaged in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prachinabari's sons are described as sadhava because of their complete obedience to their father. The father, king, and spiritual master are supposed to be representatives of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and as such, they have to be respected as the Supreme Lord. It is the duty of the father, the spiritual master, and the king to regulate their subordinates in such a way that they ultimately become fully unalloyed devotees of the Supreme Lord. That is the duty of the superiors, and it is the duty of the subordinates to obey their orders perfectly and in a disciplined way. The word Shirasa on their heads is also significant, for the Prachetas accepted the orders of their father and carried them on their heads, which means they accepted them in complete surrender. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Krishna. Thank you, Bharati. So I stopped sharing my screen, and I will share like two references very much in relation to this verse. And one is this. Is my screen visible? Where this one? Veda base. Shrimad Bhagavatam. What is it? 5.18. This is one of the very often quoted ones. Guru na sasyat, svajano na sasyat, pita na sasyat, janani na sasyat, devam na tatsyan, na patis cha sasyan, na mochayedah samurpet mrityum. So it is by Rishabh Dev, one who cannot deliver his dependents from the path of repeated birth and death. Such a person should never become a spiritual master, a father, a husband, a mother, or a worshipable demigod. So it is very important that in the society, okay, I was reading a conversation. This training must be given from the beginning. For the boys, they must be very well trained for the brahmacharis. For the Matajis, from the very beginning, they should be trained in the chastity. And when they follow it, and when they get married, right, then that becomes an ideal grasta. So, see, the purpose of the Varnashrama system is not to remain engaged in the household family, but to know what is the purpose. And the purpose is, it is called ashram. The purpose of any ashram is to ultimately achieve the Lord. Otherwise, it's not an ashram. Okay. I also want to refer another verse from Kevalastakam. It's my favorite Kevalastakam. It's very nicely Nilakanta Goswami. Kevalastakam. There, I think, third verse comes. Yes. Guru Sapita Chapi. I hope my screen is visible. I am making it bigger so that it becomes easily readable. Okay. Guru Sapita Chapi. Mata Bandhavo Saha. Shikshaye Sada Smartum. Hare Nameva Kevalam. The meaning is, that person is a true preceptor, means teacher, or a true father, or a true mother, and a true friend, only if they teach one to always remember. Remember what? The holy name of Sri Hari alone is everything. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So that is what comes in this today's the last 19th verse, where the I go back to our slide now, where we were discussing this. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Shall I share, Prabhu? It's open on my screen.
Yes, Mataji, okay. Yes. Yes, thank you, Mataji. Yes. So here it is mentioned about Prachetas and Prachimbaris. Okay, so those Prachetas were very, very dutiful for their father and for Lord Shiva, from whom they are going to hear the Rudra Gita. So the same thing happens when the Swayambhuva Manu comes, and then Lord Brahma asks him to start the expansion of this world. They were very, very dutiful. Okay, they appreciated Lord Brahma, asked them for their permission, and Lord Brahma was very, very merciful on. So it is the duty, okay, of a disciple. There are three kinds of disciples, right? One who knows the heart of the spiritual master even before it is asked. Second is the category where they do what has been instructed by the spiritual master. Third, who even after receiving the instruction does not follow it. It can happen because of their laziness, it can happen because of the impressions of the past karma or anything. But we must be very, very careful. If Mrigari could change his life just by hearing to the instructions of Lord Narada, then what about the previous impressions? He was always very sinful. So once we get Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij, so once we get the seed of Shraddha, then everything else just flies away. There is no possibility of our previous sinful habits or the impressions to remain, because now it is the mercy of the Lord and the spiritual master which is acting on us. So today, once again, being our grandfather Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON's Foundation Day, so let us all pray for each other. Srila Prabhupada says, if you want to do service to me, okay, then ISKCON is my body, and you can still serve me. He mentions there are two types of services, Vani Seva and Vapu Seva. Vapu Seva is you can do only physically when the person is there. And Vani Seva you can do by following the instruction of that person. So the question is, does it mean we cannot do Vapu Seva of Srila Prabhupada now? And the answer is no. Because Prabhupada told, ISKCON is my body. If you want to serve Srila Prabhupada's body, if you want to do the Vapu Seva, then serve ISKCON. What do we mean by serving ISKCON? By serving ISKCON means our immediate, our temple authority or wherever we are connected, right? We should follow Srila Prabhupada very first line in his ISKCON disciple course, right? IDC. The very first line says, every single devotee in ISKCON has one-to-one personal relationship with me. Srila Prabhupada is the preeminent Siksha Guru of every single follower in ISKCON. So, taking the shelter of Srila Prabhupada and his words, okay, let us pray that we and develop full faith on whatever his instructions are there. Okay? Accept them in totality. And I just end now. We are done with time. I will just give one example of there was a very unique, nice devotee. His name was Vishal. And Vishal was the only devotee in entire ISKCON who had a very unique fatherly relation with Srila Prabhupada. He could go and take from the plate of Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada will not mind. He had that loving relationship with Srila Prabhupada, Vishal. So His Holiness Bhakti Brad Bhagavad Swami Maharaj, he was giving this detail in last year during Kartik. I was fortunate to be physically attending that session in Vrindavan temple, and he shared this example. That example was one Vishal, he was lying down in the feet of Srila Prabhupada, and Prabhupada does not allow anybody to hold his feet. Vishal was allowed, as I said, was having a special, unique relationship with nobody else. And then when he was lying down, he asked Srila Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, please tell me, what is ISKCON? What activities, what are the activities and the mood of ISKCON? And Prabhupada was, what is the objective of ISKCON? These are the three questions that was asked. What is ISKCON? What are the activities of ISKCON? And what is the objective of ISKCON? And Srila Prabhupada was very, very happy hearing this question. And Prabhupada answered this question in 6 words. Maharaj told it very nicely. I'll just try to repeat the same. Maharaj told those 6 words were chant Krishna, spread Hare Krishna. So this covers everything of ISKCON. This our mood, our objective, our activities, our definition. So we have to chant because our Srila Prabhupada has told it. Prabhupada was telling, I thank you very much. There is a nice poster, like we were discussing it yesterday during our weekly Sunday meeting program. So the Prabhupada told in that I thank you very much for accepting me as your spiritual master. If we give 100 rupees to any person, will we say thank you to that person? We will not say. We are giving 100 rupees, right? We are giving the 100 rupees. Are we supposed to say thank you? No, we are giving to somebody. Srila Prabhupada is giving us access to the Goloka Vrindavan. And he is telling, I thank you very much for accepting me as your spiritual master. So we are very, very fortunate. We have a unique Acharya. Yes, we wanted to be Vishal. Why not? Having that unique, close relationship with Prabhupada, why not? Will anybody on the earth would not like to become Vishal? But then, as we discussed, Prabhupada is telling, I have unique one-to-one relationship with every single person in ISKCON. So we do have that relationship. All we need is to become surrendered as Vishal Prabhu did, following in their footsteps. So with this, I seek your permission. And yes, Rohini Mataji, you have a question?
Prabhuji, could you please repeat what Prabhupada gave the answer to the 3 questions? There was some audio issue on my side. I couldn't get it.
Oh, is it?
To
Maybe it was from my
Vishal's
side.
question.
Okay, maybe that audio issue was from my side because I see Dinesh Prabhu also asking it. So I guess it must be an issue from my side. So those 6 words were chant Hare Krishna, spread Hare Krishna. Okay, so
Thank
we should first accept it and then spread it, and that is our blood group, ISKCON blood group. We are here for preaching. Every single line is converging, right? Preaching is the essence. Utility is the force. If we go deeper, we will find everything is coming out with this single line. We have to chant and we have to preach to best of our capacity. Okay, we are 6 minutes over. Sorry for that. If someone else, we all can drop. If somebody, unless somebody else has any question, if someone has any question, we can discuss it.
No, Maharaj. I have no more questions, Mataji. Only the thing is we have to implement. It is to be implemented.
Yes,
Six words we have to remember, and then we have to practice it. So
yes, Prabhu.
good, very good suggestions. And then everything is very simple and it touches our hearts. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Babu. Thanks to you. Yes, and it is possible when we are in the association. It is easily possible.
Of course, I do agree, Prabhuji. So, no,
Feeling-
Prabhuji, knowingly or unknowingly, we don't know. We used to express to somebody else if they were in distress or in happy, they will say, "You please chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare." So, we don't know. We are not aware of all those things, even though that words will come from us. I don't know. Of course, we have very recently we have joined to this. To that extent, the inner conscious develops like that. But there is an attraction is there, Prabhuji. I do agree for that. Attraction is there, knowingly or unknowingly. And then by early morning to night. If we are conscious, won't permit to waste our time as they feel. In nectar of instruction, it says that. Nectar of instruction is the
Abhyartha kalatvam.
and automatically they will go out from us. That is the power of this Maha Mantra. Prabhuji,
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Yes.
So many beautiful analogies, Prabhuji. Like mustard seed one was very nice. Our universe, you told, na? That
Yes.
how
Yes.
that from compassionate nature of the Lord, and that story you told, and also what about us, like Sudama, he gave only very little but he got more and more and more. So that was, I was introspecting on that. What about us, so
Yes.
yeah, that is a really good one, Prabhuji. And also
Yes.
about Lord
So Lord,
Shivji and
Lord knew that we set of devotees, right?
yeah.
Let us take this family, ICF family. Lord knew that in 2024 we will be discussing it, and then He has set up the platform of by setting to Buddha, by He Himself coming as Buddha. Then, right, what we are getting is only because of the those 32 gurus, right, in the disciplic succession. When we open the Bhagavad Gita, we are getting it because our Srila
Yes.
Prabhupada has passed it as it is. So we are very unique, very important for the Lord. It is handcrafted plan of the Lord for each one of us.
Yes, Prabhuji. And also how we should, attentively listen to the Bhagavatam. Accordingly we will get the reciprocation. That was also really nice, Prabhuji. And also the hen analogy, na? Hen gives egg every single day, but it has to be fed with the grains, you told. If we want eggs, we don't want to feed. Then we cut the part and throw. That was also very good. Whatever is beneficial, we take, and others we. Haribol, Haribol. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thanks a lot, Mataji's and Prabhuji's, for your audience and for your association. I seek your forgiveness if I said something which is because of my lack of knowledge, and kindly forgive me for that. And Vancha Kalpitarugascha Kripa Patitam Pavanibhyo Namah Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai.
Jai Srila
Jagadguru
Prabhupada
Srila
ki jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Grantaraj Bhagavatam
Jai
ki
Gaur
jai.
Hari Prabhu. Jai Gaur.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna
Thank
Prabhuji.
you, Prabhuji.